Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. This is the Premier League Gazette. We are back for more Premier League news, all that good stuff. You know how it is here on AdamMcKola TV. Every Monday, we have a coffee and the papers, and we go through the latest Premier League news, the results. We'll be having a look at my fancy Premier League stuff, and I'm not going to lie, despite the fact Manchester United disappointed me this weekend, my fantasy team did okay, and that's with me having three Man United players in there who stank the place out. It still didn't stop me feeling gutted about the results. Maybe I'm not doing this fancy Premier League thing properly, but we'll be checking that out as well and seeing who's top of the standings on the AdamMcKola TV League, as well as getting the latest on all the things that happened in the Premier League. Now, of course, there's also transfer news in relation to Manchester United as well. Alex Telles being linked with a move to the club, and of course a lot of talk surrounding that move kicking off this weekend. But before we get stuck into any of that, make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and keeping it locked to AdamMcKola TV. You can also join the channel and become a member as well to help support the cause. But for now, let's get stuck into that news. And before we get stuck into these newspapers, like I was saying, we are hearing Manchester United are interested in Alex Telles and that a bid could be coming in the next couple of days. Now, we've been here before for various other players, and I know Manchester United fans are suffering from transfer window fatigue, transfer rumour fatigue, and every time something comes up, we're just rolling our eyes, this, that and the other. But when you look down to the bare bones of it, it does look like something could possibly happen. Obviously, reliable sources in England and abroad are saying that something could potentially happen. And there's talk about a contract worth around £70,000 a week, which has been agreed by Alex Telles. And now Manchester United are going to go in with an offer believed to be around 20 to 23 million euros. So let's wait and see how that one plays out. And remember, whatever happens, we'll have it covered here on AdamMcKola TV. So make sure you are keeping it locked and subscribing and hitting them notifications and checking out United Daily live every single day at 10:30 p.m. UK time. Anyway, before I knock my coffee over, let's get stuck into these newspapers. First up, we got the Express. And on the back, Calamity Kepa. Chelsea keeper has another stinker as merciless Mane seizes on gaff. Main Mane, it says there. The Liverpool striker celebrates after scoring his second goal following a mistake by Kepa. It was great work by Sadio Mane, to be totally honest with you. He had lost the ball. He showed his frustration visibly and chased them down. And you can always count on Kepa to give you a little bit of a chance, and he definitely took that and got the 3 points for Liverpool against Chelsea. A lot of questions being asked of Kepa. Obviously, he's destined for the exit, or at least the bench at Chelsea, with Mendy believed to be coming in from Rennes. But Liverpool, 6 points out of 6, and after looking a little bit ropey against Leeds and getting a 4-3 victory, but conceding a fair few goals, they looked a lot better against Chelsea. Chelsea, a lot of work to do. They didn't look great. And, you know, every time Frank Lampard's questioned, if you watch Sky Sports yesterday, they're always quick to defend him. So the pressures, you know, from the media is probably not going to build on Lampard, but there will be some pressure there because that was abysmal from Chelsea. Ali left out as PSG move in. Tottenham won yesterday 5-2. A fantastic result for them. And Dele Alli's Tottenham future is in the air after he was dropped by Mourinho. He was left out of the Europa League squad. He was left out of the squad against Southampton. PSG have inquired about him according to these reports. And he was linked with Manchester United briefly as well, because apparently Jose wants Jesse Lingard as his replacement. But if you watch the All or Nothing on Amazon Prime, you'd seen Dele Alli was someone that Jose targeted to get a little bit more out of. He wanted him to show, you know, a little bit more on the training pitch. Maybe that's not come from Dele Alli, but again, Dele Alli will probably say, I'm just another one of Jose Mourinho's victims, coming in and trying to break me into his ways. You know, some players want to express themselves in their own ways. Obviously, if that's a lack of commitment on the training pitch, then that's not good for anybody. But Dele Alli could be destined to leave. Would I take him at Manchester United? I think he's a talented player. He's still young, he'll improve. But if you look in that position, you know, we've got Bruno Fernandes, Donny van der Beek can play there. And we need to make signings in other areas. If we were to sell Jesse Lingard to Spurs, I wouldn't be looking to reinvest that money in Dele Alli when we've got, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 signings that are more priority than bringing in a centre attacking midfielder. And the fact that this guy here would want to be first choice, you're not going to be first choice when there's Bruno Fernandes around or Donny van der Beek around, because in my opinion, you're not better than them. You might have different opinions. Let us know in the comments below. Then we get into this newspaper here. We've got everything on the Liverpool game, and it says Thiago's a star turn for starters. Now, obviously United were linked with Thiago, and we were linked with him in David Moyes' era. I think that was a time when we probably should have signed him. This summer it was clear he was always destined for Liverpool, even though United's name came into it. I never really read into that as much as I would have loved to have seen him at Manchester United, because he showed his class yesterday in the 45 minutes that he was on the pitch. But we don't want to be heaping any more praise on Liverpool than that, do we? Here on the Premier League Gazette. I'm supposed to be trying to be neutral, but I can't do it. Then we see Harry's great entertainers. Harry Kane with 4 assists for Son's 4 goals yesterday in a 5-2 win. And I gotta say, Spurs were abysmal in the first half. Southampton were very good. Didn't take their chances though. Didn't take the lead or push that lead even further. And then Son gets a goal just before half time, and it changes the game. I thought, Ndombele did well in the goal, but he got substituted at half time. A lot of people were questioning that decision, and then Jose turned the game around. So there's still a little trick in the old dog yet, even if I do think he's finished in terms of an elite manager. He's still got the ability to change a game like that. And I think Southampton and Hasenhüttl will be really disappointed with that game, because they could have put it to bed at certain points. And I think with this Spurs side, if you go 2-0 up, they're not mentally great. And I think the game would have been won. They didn't do that. There's also a picture here of Basuma's sweet chin music on Jamal Lewis now. Basuma was red carded, and he'll miss that game against Manchester United next weekend, which is great news for us because he's a fantastic talent. Now the story here about Manchester United is prove we're not a spent force. Call for United Chiefs to splash the cash or face being left behind. Nothing in Ed Woodward's programme notes suggested United are about to prise open the wallet and start splashing the cash anytime soon. His message seemed pretty clear in that the board must continue to be responsible with resources hit hard by the continuing loss of match day revenue. Yet after watching Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team slide to a dismal defeat, there is little doubt the executive vice chairman will have been grimacing behind his mask in the stands. United was shockingly off the pace, their forward line terrible, midfield bypassed, and defence all over the place against Crystal Palace. Very, very true. This is what Luke Shaw said. We need more players to strengthen the squad. It can give us a boost. When you look around at how other teams are strengthening, then we must also do it to keep up. Yet Shaw also admitted United's preparation had been less than ideal, and that the players should have expected more of themselves as well. United will get better as the season progresses, it says here, and they will need to. I think that's a good point. Look, I was as disappointed as anybody with the defeat against Crystal Palace. I didn't want to be going into this season in that kind of manner at all. But what I must say is that you can be quick to get too carried away. There's a lot of factors that played into that performance. One being the player, and I think the manager got the decision to start Pogba wrong, the decision to start James wrong. I think the manager made some mistakes. The players definitely made some mistakes. But you have to also look at the fact that we never had a pre-season. That's factual, do you know what I mean? We had 4 players for a lot of the pre-season. We had a week with the whole squad. And whilst we had more than enough, I think, to get a job done, there are those factors that you have to consider, unfortunately. But that's the way it goes. Then we move on to the Mirror. Perfect. Klopp hails his Reds as Mane double sinks Blues and gives champs belief they can do it all again. Liverpool seriously looking like the team to beat at the moment, as you'd expect. Son, foursome. Kane, awesome. But Axe Dele, now a target for PSG. That story there repeated in terms of Dele Alli's move or potential move to PSG. It does look like he's destined for the exit at Spurs at the moment as well. We don't want to read about that again, do we? Nelson Semedo, here's a story for you. Nelson Semedo is signing for Wolves in a £32 million deal. The fullback will be signing for Wolves. Another Portuguese player signing for them after the kit they unveiled, which looks identical to a Portugal kit. Nuno is now set to unveil Nelson Semedo, a £32 million signing from Barcelona. I'm not sure about that one personally, but the way things go for Wolves, it'll probably turn out to be an amazing signing that everyone will be saying United should have signed. Oh, God. Anyway, what's else going on? Not a lot here. Let's get the sports pull out that they've got as well, because we know, look, there's that sweet chin music. There's that sweet chin music. Saturday fright, Sunday morning, no respite for United. Shell-shocked stars as Shaw tells the club, we must spend big now. Harry Maguire, Donny van der Beek, Anthony Martial all reporting for training on Sunday morning, and Luke Shaw calling for Man United to spend big in the transfer market or risk being left behind by their top 4 rivals. You think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said to him, hey mate, when you go do your chat, say this for me, please. Wouldn't surprise me at all. It wouldn't surprise me. Now, on the United defeat, I have to say that was never a penalty. I know it's not, it didn't play a part. We would have lost anyway. Crystal Palace deserved the result, but it wasn't a penalty. It wasn't a penalty at all. Never a penalty, in my opinion. So, yeah. Our next opponents, Brighton, looked really, really good against Newcastle. Lamptey, ex-Chelsea youth player, I think. But he looked absolutely fantastic. Brilliant performance by him. I thought he was man of the match on the day. Neil Maupay got 2 goals as well. His second was a tidy finish. The first a penalty. But Brighton look very, very good, and I'm a little bit worried about coming up against them next week. You need to be at it, because if you're not, it's 2 games, 0 points, and we're on a hide into nothing. Right then, before we go, just a little update on the Fantasy Premier League stuff. Son, Kane, Calvert-Lewin absolutely killing it for me. 4 assists and a goal for Kane. Calvert-Lewin with a hat-trick. Son with 4 goals. Jorginho unfortunately missed a penalty. Aubameyang had an assist for me as well. But beyond that, the rest of it was absolutely poor. And Patricio will probably go and get dicked by City today and concede loads of goals. But 95 points, for me in this game week, which absolutely rescued me from last time around. And I have now pushed up to 21st in the table. But congratulations to Pranjal Verlakar with Chester United, who currently stands top of the league by 10 points with 176 total points. After 2 game weeks, we've still got a long, long way to go, but I'm creeping up that table and I'm coming to get involved at the top of the league. So well done to you guys that are near the top of the league. You may see a few of your team names there. I'll put the link in the description below if you want to join the league. You've missed 2 game weeks now, so you might want to hurry up. But the link's in the description for that. Make sure you're keeping it locked. This has been the Premier League Gazette. This has been AdamMcKola TV. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And for now, I've been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.